Hi everyone, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Jai Mata Di. Welcome to the financial series. We've got Rajiv Kaushik sir with us. Sir, today I have to know what motivated you to start this journey on finance. What's your story behind it? आज आपकी story जानते हैं.
Yeah. So nothing happens without reason. That is for sure. मैंने भी कई बार सोचा है कि actually what was it that got me interested into it so much that it became a very natural thing for me. First thing that I want to clear to everybody is that finance is a very modern term. I have absolutely no, I don't even have the basic idea about all the finance, what these people, financial planners and they talk about. I just know a few things which I practice and that's how it came. But yes, there are things that motivated me to know about money. And it all starts from childhood only. And my father was a government doctor. He was one of the first batch of homeopaths, graduate homeopaths. Like we were the first graduate batch of marine engineers. And he was a government doctor and definitely one of the higher paying people. And there was sufficient in the family, but there was no extra. He had a private practice, but still there was not that we could afford everything. And I used to always hear him telling his friends that he has accounts in 5 post offices and 2 banks, but none of them have more than 50 rupees.
Okay.
Now see how the thing is building up on the psyche. And for some reason, he thought that I should develop a dignity of labor. So he asked me to start working in his clinic. So after my school, and from 4 o'clock, I used to go to his clinic. I used to open it up. I used to clean it up. And I used to get 1 rupee. I'm talking about 1973. From that time up to the time that I got a lot of increments also. But from that time, I started earning, and even during my board exams of 10th and 12th, I used to go there and I used to be paid on daily basis.
Daily basis.
Sometimes he would forget, so I used to leave a chit with my mother at night because he used to come late after sitting with his friends and having his 3 pegs of rum. So he would come and so I would give that chit with my mother. I said, please ask him to put the money on my bag, school bag.
हिसाब है.
That thing developed. And I was a very good saver.
Okay.
I always had saved money. So in 1976, I was, I think, in class 7th. And 2 days after my birthday, I told my mother, I said, I have to open a bank account. So I took my mother and I opened a bank account in 1976, 3 days after my birthday with 15 rupees. Later on, this bank account got the deposit of even 7 lakhs when I wanted to buy a house. So, but that was a different story. And out of this bank account, I lent 1500 rupees to my father in class 10th to buy land. Yeah, but this was my money.
This was your money.
And he never returned that 1500 rupees. Now he's no more, but it's okay. He went with that. So now the thing is, then when I was, I think in 6th and 7th, I saw that there was a person who approached him. Now you see, my father was a doctor. He was one of the most educated people, most qualified people. And there was this one fellow on a scooter, nice Lalaji, who trapped him in a Ponzi scheme. And the scheme was that my father used to deposit on something per day basis for 6 days, and he would pay up for the 7th day. Now you see 1 upon 7, how much does it come to? So that is the percentage that he would pay. And after how much? After 5 years. So for 5 years, every week he would come, he would collect that 6 days subscription and take it. He had his own self-made passbook in which he would write the figure and sign or something as if it was something big. And after seeing him, my grandfather also fell into the trap and he started that. And after something, my father's, I think, income increased a little bit. He started a second one. And I was on the wings waiting for this 5 years to happen. And by the time these 5 years happened, I think I was well into my 9th or 10th. And then suddenly, when this fellow is supposed to come with the money, he didn't come. And when my father didn't bring it up also, and I asked him, I said, why? Now you see my awareness. This awareness was with me that he should have come with the money. Why didn't he come? And I'm telling my father, and my father said that, yeah, I didn't ask him. I said, why didn't you ask him? I was very scared of my father. I would never talk to him, but in this place, I said, why didn't you ask him? So he said, I'll ask him next time. So next time he asked him, so he said, oh, I forgot, I'll come the third time. That time never came, and he stopped coming for collection also. Then we went to his office and he showed us some silver jewelry that this is the way he was lending people and this turned out to be fake and all that. So now you see, for two people, three contributions of this much, even if you take at about 10 rupees, this is 60 rupees per week, 52 weeks in 1 year and multiply it by 5 years and all, what are that? So it is gone. And now you see the other side, that I opened a bank account, deposited 15 rupees with 15 rupees. First month, I collected 20 rupees, out of which that 1 rupee which I was getting from my father.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So I went to the manager and he said, now it's 2:30 already, because I would go when it was after getting down from the school bus. So he said, now this thing is closed, we only work up to 2 o'clock. I said, but the bank is open. I see a child in class 6 or 7 is asking that bank is open, what do you think we're closed? He said, no, you keep it and I will put it in record tomorrow deposit. I was very scared. I said, will he run away with my 20 rupees or not? Bank manager, you can't trust. So
Pun intended, Haji.
So I said, sure? He said, yeah. So I said, okay. Now, it was a done thing that every time I would go, I had developed the bank developed a trust in me, Punjab Sindh Bank. Later on, it was the only bank not to be nationalized. So they told me that every time I would go after school, deposit the money with him because it was on my way to home. And he would give me the passbook next day with that thing, and I saw that money slowly growing up. So after 2 or 3 months, it was a Saturday, and I saw the bank was open, but my school was closed. That time the Saturday bank used to be open. So I went there, and this Sardarji, Punjab Sindh Bank always had a Sardarji bank manager. So I asked him, I said, I want to ask you one question. He said, yes. I said, what do you do with my money? So he thought he's asking me like, what I'll get. He said, we give you so much interest, this is the way you calculate. So by that time, they had not taught us simple interest in school. So I said, no, that's not what I'm asking. What I'm asking is that when you take this money from me, what do you do with this? I was very sure about it. I should know. I'm talking about class 7th. Now you forget about what I'm talking to my mutual fund investors, my mutual fund AMCs. But I had a very clear idea. That's how we grew up. I mean, this is a story I'm telling you.
That's how you grew up.
That's how I grew up. Because I realized that there is something which makes us grow. I had never been out of Dehradun. The first time I ever visited Delhi was, I think I was in class 7th or 8th. We went at night, morning, came back. I don't know what we had gone for. So, I never been to a bigger city. But I knew that there is a world outside, and somehow the people who have what I do not have are the ones who are doing something different. There is something different that this bank manager is doing, or that which this person who's collecting money from my father is doing, which is not correct. The bank is the correct thing. What are they doing in the post office? Why are they collecting money? Where is that money going? So the bank manager told me what they do. The concept of economy and all this was not around that time because there wasn't much in the newspapers. But that is how I started moving up. I could see that something is there which I'm not able to understand. And that is why it was in class 8th. One of our the maths teacher, he came a little late to the class. I'm not sure if I've written it in the book or not. Mr. P.K. Sharma, he passed away. Very smart, handsome gentleman. And we asked him why is he late. So he said, oh no, the ISC is having the exams from tomorrow. So they wanted to ask some doubts in economics. So I got delayed. He was teaching economics to class 11th, which was a board that time. So the rest of the class didn't matter. But to me, it seemed a little different because I had never heard the word economics. So I said, sir, what is economics? So it's the science of creating wealth. I was stunned. I said, there is some science which can create wealth also. And all this used to be very different for me. I used to see laborers around me in my childhood earning 5 rupees. 5 rupees was the daily wages that time. And I used to see that he's poor. And I used to see different grades of people. Mostly everybody was not so great unless he was in a government job that time. So I was very always thinking that what is there that these people are not able to do, which others are able to do. And I was also very aware of the fact in this age group, I am talking all before I was 15, that most of the money which a person earns, he spends in just his upkeep. I was very puzzled that what will this person do when he will grow old. I am talking when I was not 15. About the masons, about the laborers, about the carpenter. I mean, they would do something for you for a small money. So all this used to make me very puzzled. So when Mr. Sharma told us about economics little bit, I got an opportunity to study economics in 10th. So we got the paper, like the choice sheet that what subjects you want. So I went to my father. I said, I want to study history, geography and economics. My father said, these are subjects for the girls, not for boys. Boys only study biology and mathematics. So I was denied studying that economics at that stage, but I did not stop. I continued studying economics from the books of other people, and that is how my interest in finance grew. And I tried to discover for myself how a society moves, what controls the society, how the government moves, how the government controls the society. All these things are very interlinked. And I feel that in life, when you start looking at things in a particular way, you start linking, you start connecting the dots, and all the dots, they connect somewhere or the other. So I can't say when economics held my fancy, but I was just like these people in my childhood. I was always very worried about the mariners, at what they are doing. In Indian company, it was very simple. There were so many Indian companies that time. Everybody paying provident fund. Everybody was on a MUI scale. So you could understand. I mean, imagine in 1987, January, I joined the ship. My first ever ship, and all the Bengali officers there, and they would tell me slyly, our chief engineer, अरे बड़ा साहब का 5 लाख रुपया का provident fund है. Bada Saab was 56 years old. White hair. He didn't have one single black hair. I still have 2 or 3 black hair remaining. And they used to say he's got 5 lakhs in his provident fund, because the salary of a 5th engineer was 2,900 rupees that time. 4th engineer was 3,500. So 5 lakh rupees to bahut hota tha. But I was not convinced. I said, there is something different. There is something wrong. Something is not correct here. So all that thing started, and then few books, and then the entry of Mr. A.N. Shanwag into my life through articles and books, and my personal interaction with him years later in Mumbai. But like I always say, I always like to pay for knowledge.
Invested.
I mean, even now I never like to get pirated publications. I like to go for subscriptions. And similarly, I learned a lot from Mr. Shanwag, and he put things in track, he put things in perspective. Of course, now everything is free on YouTube. You can learn everything that you want.
Still, sir, again, sorry, बहुत अच्छा बोला सर आपने. But मैं आज भी ये मानता हूँ, I still believe कि no matter how much you find on YouTube most of the time leaves you puzzled, because you watch it not for learning. ये भी अच्छा लग रहा है, चल यहाँ से भी देख लेते हैं, चल यहाँ से भी देख लेते. My perspective, I might be wrong, sir. Sir, now, last but not the least, just one question I will end this video, and that is, book क्यों लिखी? Because जर्नी तो आपने बताई बहुत अच्छे से, book क्यों लिखी ये नहीं बताया.
हाँ, actually क्या था कि I started talking about money with my shipmates from very beginning. Earlier, when I was a 5th engineer or 4th engineer, people used to shrug me off that you're junior, you know nothing. And that they used to tell me for everything. Like I was a very avid exerciser on board, so they used to say, "अभी बहुत time मिलता है, जब senior हो जाएगा तो time नहीं मिलेगा." जब senior हो गया तो कहते थे, "सर आपको तो कुछ काम नहीं है, आपको तो बहुत काम है." So it's both ways. So ये वाला था. तो like I said, now I used to talk to people, and I used to collect their experiences. Before 93, the only option that I had with people was PPF. So I used to persuade them कि बत्ती साहब अपना PPF खोलिए, 4 साहब अपना PPF खोलिए. हम 5 साहब हैं, हम 4 साहब को कह रहे हैं पीपीएफ खोलो. 4 साहब हूँ मैं, 4th इंजीनियर हूँ, बट आई एम टेलिंग माई चीफ इंजीनियर प्लीज सर प्लीज पीपीएफ खोलिए. कैप्टन को बोल रहा हूँ पीपीएफ खोलिए, एनआरई अकाउंट में एफसीएनआर कीजिए, इसमें मत डालिए, ये नहीं करना है. मतलब आई यूज्ड टू टेल देम. आई एम नॉट श्योर हाउ मेनी दे डिड, बट येस आई एम वेरी श्योर दैट बाय दैट टाइम द वर्ड म्यूचुअल फंड एक्चुअली became a little heard. I had got at least 155 PPF accounts opened on board. Or how do I know this? Because the people who sailed with me when I was second engineer, they phone me today. They are in their 70s and they say that recently they have paid off their PPF after 30 years. 30 years उन्होंने अपना PPF चलाया. Now they have paid off. So when I was doing this, and then I started slowly, I started forming these policies about mutual funds. I started investing into mutual funds. I had learned substantially from A.N. Shanbag's books and his personal interviews with him. So then I was telling people already, but then I thought that it is not going in the right way. I have to structure it like a manual, that you have to do this. Without opening the cover of the cylinder head, you cannot access anything inside. So first open the cover of the cylinder cover. Then only you can start thinking about decarbonizing. It cannot be, this may be done, that will be done. No, it cannot be done. So for a mariner, I wrote this book like a manual. All the words, the experiences, of course, I told you the story, how I developed. The definitions, I worked very hard at definitions. First, I understood why this is happening. What happens to your money which you put in the bank? This is how it starts, the book, that what happens to the money? It goes to the bank sends it to the RBI gives it back to the bank. So where do you come into the picture? And if they are doing this between themselves, then why are you there? Why are you putting your money with the bank? So all those questions, and I made the definitions of my own. Each and every definition there is my own definition of investment also. Because I wanted a OS also to understand. I wanted a motorman also to understand that what is he talking about. SLR, CRR, this has no meaning. You know, we hear every day repo rate, reverse repo rate. Day before yesterday, RBI did something in the reverse repo rate. Now these people who are reading that book, they will know what we are talking about. They will know why RBI has to take money from banks, why the banks need to put that money there. But there is some money which the bank has to keep for itself also. Now again, the same question which that bank manager told me at the age of 11 or 12, that what are they doing with their money? Now, he didn't tell me that he is putting that money in stock market also, because he himself didn't know. Exactly, maybe there was no stock market that time. But the main thing is that the book was just a starting, and after that it was written while I was on leave and bored, which means you have more time on shore or on board than you have on shore, because I have not been able to revise that book. तो बुक इसीलिए लिखी गई थी.
सर आज बहुत सारे सीनियर्स का भला करिए, एंड आई गेस इन वीडियोस के माध्यम से हम और भी लोगों तक पहुंच पाएंगे. एंड इफ यू हैव गॉट एनी क्वेरी, इफ यू हैव गॉट एनी वीडियो सजेशंस दैट यू वांट, जस्ट पुट अक्रॉस एंड विल शेयर इट विद सर एंड विल डेफिनेटली मेक सच वीडियोस. थैंक यू वेरी मच. जय माता दी.